How's everyone tonight? I don't know what those guys are doing, and I don't care. Huh? Whoops. Are we too loud? Hold on a sec here, folks. I've never seen it. Yeah. All right. Ooh, something's loud. Boom chakalaka. Who's coming in here? What do we got going? Am I playing in the background? Because I want to edit that off. What a beautiful little weekend we had here, guys. What do we got going on? There we are. Hi, Amy. How you doing, Santa? You did make a live today, and I was thinking I got to let you know. And just as I was typing this in, hey, go Habs, I saw Scotch 4 dummies come on. I don't know what they're talking about, Indian whiskey or something like that. So anyway, Ben Arlego, how you doing, buddy? See, you're following us all over. Good man. Popping the chat up so I can see it. That's what I was going to do here. Trying a few different things here, guys, so that I can see things and respond better. Duncan, how you doing? My fellow Canadian down in the U.S. What are you drinking tonight? Tell you what, this is what I was drinking while Eric was talking. And I really want to stay there because I like it. And it is Mitcher's toasted. But Amy, where is George? Because he's got me hankering for some Bruichladdich now, which is no fun. Dalwhinnie 15. I have a Dalwhinnie, and I don't think I've ever opened it. I might have to revisit that, Go Habs. Hey, George. So we were talking here about the laddies that I picked up. Everything you see behind me on the cart, you see me pushing that around, I usually save some receipts and I log them in a little log thing there, right? Yeah, boring day. Yeah, some days are boring. So I got this new Bray barley. What I know I have another one of theirs, but I really wanted to try this because I haven't opened up a laddie, and it's all George's fault. George, but here I have my toasted. So who do you think is going to be the winner with the Scotch Test Dummies? Anybody invested a lot of time in thinking about that? Just curious. Curious to see what people see. Waiting here. She is a nice looking one. Who has the same amount of subs? You have been doing this a long time there, young fella. And the other one, and I just found out from Swami's weird show, Dr. Dave Ragland, how you doing? Oh, I could use a chiropractor right now. Yeah, it counts that you're near Canada. Hey, we're all Americans, right? In the sense that we live in North America. And that's that. We all think we live in separate universes, but we don't. Something happens to you down there, you lose all the butterflies. Well, we're going to lose something up here called, I don't think that's the butterfly effect. I was just rambling. And I got this one. So, Eiley Barley 07 Rockside. And I thought this was like a new release. I don't know if they're considering a new release. And the reason I say that is actually got Jim McEwen's signature on it. So, I don't know. But Swami said that they will no longer be having Rockside because Rockside's gone to somebody else. Oh, yeah, we all need a little help sometime. I need to lose 40 pounds. And then I won't see the chiropractor so much. How many people have tried Mitcher's toasted oak? Artificial borders, buddy. You are true. Except for the one around Quebec. That one I don't know what's so artificial. Can we just keep Swami in one little area? That boy had fun last night on his show. What did I recently open here, folks? I opened up, oh, it's on the other side of the cart. I opened up a Belle Blair. I tell you something, man. I thought I was on the ball about a lot of stuff. And this Belle Blair, I did it on Tuesday because Rob was taking the night off because in Toronto, well, I think he was tired from several things. In Toronto, they had a guy kill 15 people with a rented cargo van. And so it was a little sad moment. And anyway, I opened this up. I had another bearded person on the show, Josh. He's on Instagram, also known as Know Your Whiskey on Instagram. And it was very good, and I like that stuff. This is great. It's on the cart, even though it's open because I haven't recorded it yet. I have other Belle Blairs, but this one here I got a bit of a deal on because it didn't come in a fancy box. And the guy, Rob, puts his review out of it, of a 97, but it's cast strength. And was it you, Santa Cruzin? Or was it Tom R? Somebody, oh no, it was Jason Fisk, said that he got one and he paid like $150. I got this for $99. But his was 50% ABV. Mine's only 46. And one of the guys in the chat or in the comments said it was, theirs was 43. So now I got to find some homework here. I'm trying to understand why they have 1997. And I think they're different bottles. Mine's 2012, right? I'm learning things. Some of you guys are up on the date with some of the stuff more than I am. Yes, I have a friend in Brazil that says to me, "You Americans," and I remind him, "You're American too." Yeah, it is funny. South American, North American. I live in the United Provinces of Canada. You live in the United States, and that was even divided once upon a time too. You were not all United States. You had the dividing line there. I forget what it was now. It's only a few states over on the East Coast and down south, right? Yeah, it's a 12-year-old. Anyway, I got lots of, there's so many different things that mix me up with whiskey now. I thought I knew what I was doing, and then I started doing live streams with Scotch, or Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies on Instagram. He joined in, and that's when I found out about the Cavalins and the different ages of the Cavalins. Sorry, guys, my table's on very nice piano wheels, and sometimes it gets a little wavy when I lean on it. Hey, Richie, thanks for coming in. Mason Dixon Line, thank you, Ben Arlego. You are the, what do we call that? The history buff in here. Eric Wade is too. When we listen to Eric talk, he knows lots about that stuff. My roommate or ex-roommate buddy, he's in the living room right now. He knows lots of that stuff too. And I seriously need to read more than I have been doing. Right? Fancy seeing you here. Yeah, that Tom guy's everywhere, and so is Richie. But I like them. I like them hanging out. Let's see if I can get this going here, guys. So, Richie, are you drinking a Macallan's? Oh, no. Listen, Richie, what is this, Julia, telling you to get Crown Royal? Was that on one of my live videos? Must be. I don't even think she's trying to do that Crown Royal. Well, maybe she did. I do have a bottle of it. And I have a bottle of it from, well, what they're saying is it's the original release from, pardon me, from Crown Royal, like the one that Jim Murray would have tasted. But I take that with a grain of salt, if you know what I mean. So, these guys doing anything? I don't know about them STDs. I have a hard time following them sometimes. I like watching them. I love being in the chats, but they get a little, there's just too many of them. I hear too many voices. It scares me. I found a location with Ardbeg Galileo and some of other hard to find Ardbegs. Should I get them? I like Ardbegs, the old stuff, and I like Ardbeg stories and marketing. Why not? I guess, but if you look at what I have, I don't usually think about what I'm doing. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining, buddy. You are wide awake, right? Just board Bruichladdich Rockside. See? Rockside Farm. Now, tell me, is that the different Rockside than I have, George? Right? Is it not in the yellow can? I'm going to open up a Bruichladdich now. Can't believe it. So, Santa Cruzan, what other hard ones are there to find? I'm in with the Ardbeg. Thanks, Tom. I don't know if I have. I don't want to be overly honest. I don't want to be honest in a, what's the word? In a way that's a little disrespectful to others. I think there's a way to find it. I am not, how shall we say it? Always diplomatic. I may have to hit a pause button here, guys. Can I pop up chat on this screen and see things? Why can't I? Top of the chat. It's not on there. I can't see it any better than here. Never mind. We'll shut that off and we'll stop paying attention and pay attention to you. Is that Crown Northern whiskey? It was the World Whiskey of the Year by Jim Murray, right? We know how we kind of feel about him. Jim Murray's. Here's what I've talked about with guys around here about that is that they're almost everything that he's named World Whiskey of the Year for, say, the last 4 or 5 years, all belongs to a giant conglomerate. You don't hear him doing things like something with these guys, Millstone or Independence. I mean, he does, but nothing ever wins the World Whiskey Year, right? So it's a little, it seems convoluted, or not convoluted, planned and marketed toward us. So, George, I don't know if Red Rabbit has ever watched my streams. I don't think, except that day you and I were with him on Food Quig, or the two you guys were on after I left, that he had anything, any idea who I was, really. He just probably thought I was another one of you guys in the chats, which I am. That's all I am. And I decided to give this a shot, and I enjoyed it. I really liked the STDs having George Kaplan on. That was awesome. Hey, Malton in Montreal's here. How you doing, buddy? Just on for a while before the STDs do their After the Pete show. I got to get a glass. I don't care. They're all the same. Glass is a glass. Don't you think? Because I'm going to open this up. This isn't very old. 50% ABV. It's Bray Barley. What do they say? This 2008. What is it, like 10 years old? At the most. So, George, am I missing your comment? Which Cairnmore is that? Interesting that on my last live, somebody asked me that question too. And then Santa Cruzan, was it? Or was it Tom Maher has asked, how do you open that bottle? That is because of Roy and you, Jason Whiskey Wise. Is that going to focus? This is a Klein Leash, my first ever Klein Leash. Roy Ganna gave me he's like, oh, you could have just bought the regular 14-year-old, which I could have. But the fun part was trying to open this mother. So we rehearsed. You slide this up. I think you can slide it up all the way, and you push the front out. And there she is. So she's a Klein Leash. From that 89 and bottled in 14. I hear you. No, so there's another one by am I pronouncing this right? Carnmore. That I want. I took a picture of it. I've been told to hold on because the big chain liquor store out here is going to have a massive age vintage sale. Swami, did you, by the way, let That's Crazy go home at a decent time, or is he still locked up somewhere in the house before the wife comes back? Anyway, I wanted to open this up, and I'm sure I have another one somewhere, an older one somewhere up there. I should show George some of the Bruichladdich I have, since he's been taunting us on Instagram with the ones he fortunately bought. Are you home yet, George? Or is Amy still on vacation? I open this right in front of you guys. I don't, I usually hold back opening up a lot of bottles because I'm away so much I don't get to drink them. There is also an 89 Bruichladdich from them, which is awesome. He left at 2 in the morning. Was he screaming, "Let me go, let me go"? Yeah, highly grown. Yes, it is. It is a local barley off the island. Bray barley. If you didn't get it, I can send it to Scott from the other end. We can send it to you. Okay, we're gonna pour some of this. This is that's a unique smell, especially since I'm drinking toasted beside it. So, guys, hold on a sec. Sheldon, come here, boss. I'll give you something. Gotta share with your friends while they're out there watching the TV. Here.
Ooh, thank you.
This is a Mitcher's Toasted Finish Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. It is wicked. And Sheldon likes rye. He doesn't like being in front of the camera. He's the guy that made my table. If you look on Instagram, you'll see a collage of pictures made there. So, 50% ABV, right? I have no water in here. I cleaned it all out. That's all right. Sheldon, can you bring me a bottle of water, boss? I forgot to bring one. Kind of doing everything by the seat of my pants again, guys. So Tom R., he likes rye and he is shy. He likes rye and he is shy, but he brought me a bottle of water. And that's all that matters. We're going to pour that into my... I have multiple glasses here. Or multiple spoons. Little spoon set. Watch me pour that right over my wireless keyboard. There. I don't think I need water in this, but we'll see. Hey, Bourbon Shenanigans. Thanks for coming in. He is shy, but this has... Wow. That's very sweet. I'm going to say sweet like a cotton candy. And I don't know tasting notes. I absolutely actually laugh at a lot of tasting notes when I'm at a tasting area or place. Hey, at Shy Rye Guy. Hey, we got a new title for you. I wish I could nose like Malta de Montreal does. I get a little apple, I guess. I think I'm picking up some apple. Don't know what kind. Green, maybe. She's got a good nose on it. Yeah, there's a lot more. I am not astute at nosing things, but this is not, a lot of times when you get somebody that's not training themselves to nose, they'll just say, I smell whiskey. And I do. I smell whiskey, but not for 50% ABV. This is not strong on the alcohol side. It's very light, even light in its color. Right, and the legs are thin. It's not extremely oily. mean, they're there, but they're not. They move down fast and they kind of homogenize on their way down together. So, Wells Toro, thank you for coming in from Spain. Oh, hello, beautiful. How you doing? Julia's editing photos, and she had 2 photo shoots this weekend. Parallel assistance. I am not in this conversation. I don't know what you're talking about, Ben. I know what I like when I nose, but I can't always identify the different aromas. Yeah, I want to invest in a nosing kit. Now I see nosing kits that are for whiskey only, and they're small. And then you see the ones that are for wine, which technically it's all the same stuff that the whiskey guys are getting, but it's big. It's up to, like, I think the biggest one I've seen is 66 different oils. So we'll see. Hey, Richie and Julia, what's this going on here, Julia, since you're here now? Telling Richie that he's, you're telling guys what they should drink now? What's going on here? Oh, I don't know if it's to me. Oh, to Richie, yeah. Hopefully it is. If enough people complain about one troll, we can just click on somebody's thing and report them. So, hey, Swami, if you're there, what are you drinking now? I love learning from you, too. Believe me, guys, I have learned lots from Julia. Not just about whiskey, about life in general. She's a lot stronger than she gives herself credit for. And she takes phenomenal photography. Although I think, I got mentioned or liked by that one magazine, but we won't go there, Julia. You got to get to sleep. I bet you do. Lots of recording tomorrow. I'll help to the senses instead of spending a lot on a kit. Yeah, okay, that's good advice. That's good advice. I think sometimes I just don't have all those things, and I think that's why people buy the kits. But yeah, you're right. I used to cook lots. I still cook, I guess. So I was in a kitchen lots. I managed the restaurants and trained the franchisees. So Jason, go straight to bed, though. I mean, you said you're going to bed. I don't need staying up. I don't want to find out you're jumping ship and going over and watching somebody else, like the Scotch 4 dummies. I got to get my sign up, Julia, for when I'm watching the STDs. I folded it up. I got to remember that his name is Scott. I think I just need to get a picture of each of them. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay, I'm done smelling this. But, man, it is good. Julia, too bad you're not here, because I just opened a brand new bottle. And I might have to go pick up another one of these. Smoking Bill's Matt tips. No, I did not stay long enough. I don't know what you're talking about, Ben. Amy is here, Julia and Amy. Amy, well, she's really friendly with some guy named George on the chat. That's all I'm going to say. Wells Terminal. Domaine Boing. I don't even know how to say that, but an Armagnac. Next dram is whiskey. Armagnac is got to be on my list. Is it, how much different is Armagnac to cognac? What makes them different? I'm going to drink while you talk. Wow. Very spicy. It's like fruit and spices. It's got a fruitiness to it. As in a clean, when I say fruit, I'm not picking up a specific fruit. I think it's like cinnamon and apples in a sense, right? Amy, George is your baby daddy. Julia takes care of me. Or tries, anyway. I almost went out on a motorbike today, but thought it was too chilly. Yeah, I know the phone doesn't let you chat well. Julia, you understand Julia's pain. Are you calling me a pain? Well, I don't know. I would try this. Amy, I asked George there, did I miss his comment? Which was it George? Yeah. Is he not home? Is he still away for work? I want to know which I have 4 motorbikes, Tom. I want to know which damn it. Rock side he is opening it. Is it the same rock side that I just opened? Because if that's so, then that means that they just released this. Sorry, guys, I have to move this card around. I shouldn't even be on this chat, but it is more fun than not. If it's this one, because I think this is signed by Jim McEwen. Is it new that it just came out? We believe terror matters, as in Earth. 750 mil. I wonder if this is like did these show up out of the US? At 750. I wonder if they just say yeah. So George, is it a newer release or you just found it? Because I just found it. I'm surprised. And it's got the nice little sediment in it floating around from back in the day. So I'll explain that. You had it for a while and you decided to open it. Thank you. I knew if I asked Amy to ask you. So if we go here and I pull up my yellow submarine. Yeah, well, I think everybody, but then Malted Montreal, Swami said that they won't be getting any more Rockside last night. Is Malted still here? At Malted. Hello. So he said that it wasn't going to be available from them anymore. Now, this bottle, if we hold it up the right way, you'll see a sediment on the bottom. It's fine, very fine sediment from non-chill filter untold. You see that? There you go. It's focusing. You can see it sliding down the bottle now. And lots of the old Bruichladdich have that. Doesn't change the taste. George, this one's for you, since you were showing me nice old ones. And then this is also for you, George. I think it's reversed on the screen. It's now all Kilholm, and that's what Malted Montreal was saying, yeah. So this is Jim McEwen's autograph. I met him a couple times. Nice guy. I think he was tired. What gives you more whiplash, or bikes or kids? This conversation has gotten weird. I don't know. I only have motorbikes. I don't have any kids. Right? And Georgie, since we're showing and you got me all excited, we'll show you another Jim McEwen autograph. My shirt's getting untucked. There's another one. And have you just found out what bottle this is? You like the light? Is it good? It's a little reflective. This is a DNA. Apparently, this is what the whiskey that was left when they reopened the distillery. 36 years old. It's only 41% ABV. But this is what they based all the new whiskeys that were coming out. Hey, Julia, you didn't feel safe riding on the back of the motorbike? Gives you an excuse to hug me. Little tube's out of shape. Yeah, he's working again, but he's working at, where's he working at? Ardbeg, isn't he? Not working for, I mean, I don't know why. I mean, he was well ready to retire, I'm sure of it. Has anybody ever seen this DNA before? There's a little note in here. I should have got him to sign the note. I ride great. I've crashed too many times. I'll show some of those videos, guys, of me crashing. An absolute masterpiece and a marvelous example of how whiskey can still be outstanding at such a great age, provided that both whiskey and spirit are in top condition at the start of the journey, and the silky texture from the L.E. Pin wine cask, and it's fabulous. The piece de resistance, I don't know, but it was original cask was bourbon, and then the ace, they call it the Chateau Le Pin. And where's Eric Waite when we need him? Because I have no idea what I just read about. I have Bruichladdich were one of the ones I first started with, Eric. So when you show those, you got me a little reminiscent and excited, and I wanted to cry, and I'm like, there's no more. I bought them. What else can I show you? What else? You want to see some more Bruichladdich? No. I have this. Jim is working at distillery that will be producing their own scotch in 4 years. Just need the time and the cask. So they're using that man's experience to make a very good whiskey. Yeah, well, you just take care of yourself, Ben or Lego. I went down a hill. I couldn't stop. The brakes wouldn't stop the pedal bike. I had to use my sneakers, and Mom was not happy when she saw them because that was probably a 2 or 3 mile foot brake. There is this here, Georgie. Where am I finding them all? Over the last several years since I first started Santa Cruzing. I am drinking this, Julia, and it is a very nice, sweet, younger. It doesn't taste young, I'll tell you that. Dunlosset Estates, highly grown Dunlosset Estates barley. They show it on the map. Where's the map? Well, there's a map on the front there. Julia. Julia takes notes and keeps these and says, why haven't I got to try this yet? Come on, focus. It focused last time. Anyway, I'll show you later when you come by. Burns right through the shoe. It burned more into the shoe, man. It was terrible. Yes, I have chocolates. Thanks for mentioning that, Tom. And I get to eat them all by myself. Some Bruichladdich, or Brookside for the Bruichladdich. Yes, we need to visit there soon. If I got to stop spending money on whiskey if we're going to be able to afford there. Chris Britton Beaton, how you doing, buddy? Anyway, I have that. This is basically Bruichladdich moonshine. It's quadruple distilled, 3 years of age, so it can be called a whiskey. And it is 66% alcohol. 63.5, sorry. 63.5. George, I'm trying to play catch up. Only collecting for the last. Well, listen. I started collecting just before I met Julia. That might explain a lot. Oh, this smells so good, man. I want to say like a spicy apple pie. Julia, how long have we been together? Amy wants to know. Julia, I have to remember when my great niece got married, Amy. Julia was the photographer for my great niece's wedding. Well, first of all, Ben, you're only 15 years old. So don't you even worry about collecting whiskey or drinking any of it right now. That is our suggestion to you. We enjoy you having on the show. Eric said it. I think you're a funny kid. I think you're smart. I think you got some good character going there. But we have to be careful. And I want you to be careful. That's all I'm saying to you. And we'll finish it at that. And you and I can have a private conversation one day about certain things. Because I think you do. You're a pretty good kid. As long as you work hard. And that book or that guy that he mentioned, Gary Vaynerchuk, get his book. Try it out anyway. I mean, it's not the, it's a book to start with. I'm not saying that it'll get your life, right? Whiskey in the 6. How you doing, buddy? I just opened up a new bottle because every time I talk about something, you go and review it. Wink, wink. Just so you guys know, a lot of times you hear us make comments to people. I'm learning. We get to know each other, and then we start having a little bit of fun in the chats. So I don't think I've ever seen you do a laddie review. So this is what I'm drinking right now. Brie Barley. Yes. Moderation is a very good key. But for a 15-year-old, you just moderate your sugar intake, okay? Start lowering it or you'll get 42% body fat like I am. This is a lower peat, yes. I mean, I bought my first, I haven't logged it yet, so it's over. I bought my first Octomore because all these guys are like, you've never bought an Octomore? And I haven't. And I guess it's because I thought Octomore was just peat for the sake of peat, I guess. This is an edition 7.4. Of course, if it doesn't have a 3 on it, it's no good, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. No peat. This is unpeated. Both those are I bought. I like Bruichladdich unpeated stuff. I have Port Charlotte 10 open. Sugar, yeah, no. Sugar, I mean, sugar, natural sugar is okay, but sugar and salt, we consume it like crazy. And like Eric said on his live show to you, Ben, eliminate those strong flavorings, right? I got one buddy. He broke up with a girl because she would not cook him a steak without putting barbecue sauce on it. Now, he's 57, maybe 56 years old, works out 5 days a week. You know, I mean, he's got a little man syndrome maybe. But he wants to know what the steak tasted like, not the sugar, right? We'll figure it out, Ben. We'll figure it out, buddy. Soon. We'll try to do it on Hangouts, all right? Fake sugar, no. But even when I say fake sugar, I'm talking about all the white sugar because it's a processed sugar, right? I mean, a sugar in an apple is not fake. Ask Whiskey in the 6. That guy works out people all the time. This is I hate using this word, but it's delicate. Who has a woman cooking for him? Julia, who does the cooking? Me or you? Yeah, but I'm talking about Rob, Julia, not me. You met Rob. He did. He broke up with her. That's what he says. I broke up with her because she wouldn't stop putting steak sauce on my steak. And I've seen Rob. He won't eat it. He will count how many calories he saves so he can weigh out how many beers. Yes, my friend. He has a woman cooking for him. You don't have a woman cooking for you? If Julia was here, I would have had Julia bring me the water and the beer. Well, okay, come on over. I have 3 thick, stinking steaks in the fridge right now. Don't tell him don't tell Tom that he'll have me come up here and now he'll want me to start cooking for him too. Okay, I'm going to add a little water. It's in there. George, you saw this X4 Bruichladdich. How many different cuvées of the links did you get, George? How many? Just curious. Is it okay, Amy, if I show him all these whiskeys? Steak. I don't. Well, no, Ben, I'm working tomorrow. How about we go for like middle of the week? The job I'm on should be finished, and we'll see. Georgie, are you there, George? They had their son, yes, and on their second wedding anniversary. But is that the same son that's graduating right now? It's coming soon, and they are all good to be amazing. You know what? I think I showed you the rums I got. You bought only one of them. Okay, well, here's one I was very fortunate to find because they're almost all gone. This one is K Club Ireland, 16th hole. So if anybody hasn't seen, the Bruichladdich put out a series called Bruichladdich Links, and each bottle was named after different golf courses. And this one is K Club Ireland, 16th hole, 14 years old, 46% ABV. And again, it has the silt on the bottom, which will disappear when you shake it up or move. Right? All right, buddy, I will. Oh, Amy, now you got her all sentimental. And they did this to me on Swami's show, my first live show. I had to find a bunch of wedding rings I had in the box. 4 squares, yeah. How much you want for a temptation on the dark side? Well, how about I find another bottle, first of all, for you, Rob? And, you know, it'll be... you like that much, eh? I have this here. A little bit left in it. But I think I found another bottle or two. I might have. Dave hasn't got back to me yet. Hard to find. What? It is hard to find rub in Santa Cruz? Who was gonna give you something, Chris? Hold on a second. This is a nice color. This here is good stuff. I have drank this one, and no sediment on the bottom of this one. This one is 15 years old, George. And this is the Valhalla. I didn't clear. I don't know why it doesn't focus automatically. That George got me going on about these. I haven't looked at them for a while. So I'm one of your kids? What? What are you talking about? What are you drinking right now, Chris? That's good. Quig's a good guy. He'll be on later tonight, I would hope. I hope he's feeling a little better. How much longer do we have before our friends Scott and Bart come on? I think it was when I started up, it was 100 minutes still left. Let us look here, guys, so that we don't overstep on their time. So, George, have you always been a fan of Bruichladdich? Until we all get STDs. Yeah, 1 hour exactly. Man, you are on the ball, man. I like the way you do things, boss. 60 minutes. Yeah, 1 hour, 60 minutes. All good. So, George, the question was, are you a Bruichladdich fan? From the get-go, you say you've only been collecting for 2 to 3 years? Rockside. Yeah, so, Chris, when did that come out for you? Because you mentioned it to me, and I went and bought a bottle. And I was surprised to see that it had George or Jim McEwen's signature on it. So, and Swami said yesterday that it was, and so did Tom or Santa Cruz, and that it is only going to Kill Holman from now on. Kill Holman. Oh, Oh yeah, the STDs, they had the Scotch Whiskey Hunter, or their Whiskey Hunter on there. Is the Whiskey Hunter on here right now? I thought I saw somebody come on as the Whiskey Hunter. Was that on whatchamacallit show? I should just pop up the other chat participants. Participants. So you're the only ones participating. Bourbon Shenanigans. Yeah. I don't keep you busy. What did Bourbon Shenanigans? This is why you love Sundays. What do you love? It started with peated whiskeys. Peated whiskey. So you're a cigar smoker? I'm not. So need to change that and that. That's what I'm doing, guys. I'm screwing things up because I'm looking down at you all the time. Julia said something to me about that. Can't you change the angle of my hair? Julia, I need a haircut, something awful. You got it from the Keg and Cork on Friday. So there must have been some bottles because they got 6 cases. I'm afraid to ask you what you paid for it down there. Or over at Keg and Cork. 6.3 and loved it, but I like non-peated whiskeys as well. So look out, Canada whiskey drinkers. I can leave the U.S. and get back in. Are you sure you can get back in? I really like that. You like the? I bought this house 12 years ago, and I paint. This is the room, third room I painted, and it just worked out. It was a baby blue or whatever. Who I was in here before. Thanks, Rob. You used to have blue walls. You don't have blue walls now. I've seen your live shows. You have a very clean and neat room, Ben Arlego. For a 15-year-old boy, I have to say that is impressive, right? You come on up here, Santa Cruzing. You don't go speeding. The cops up here, they're RCMP aren't so bad when they pull you over. You probably deserved it, but in the cities, depends. Here I call it the Edmonton Police Revenue Service. So the boys, I like Sundays because there's so much good whiskey conversation. Yes. What are you drinking, Bourbon Shenanigans? And what area of the world are you in? Oh, you two stop flirting with me, Julia. So I've told people previous, and I'll say it again, I started out, since George was telling everybody where he started, I started off with, well, I grew up, my father was in the Navy and so forth, eh? And they used to be both my brother and my father. My brother is like 66 years old, I think. Hey, Julie, isn't that what he told us? Feel bad for him when he was here visiting Dad, who was 91, that he got a call from people where he lives that his horse died. So he felt bad about that. And he was heartbreaking always leaving Dad because he thinks it'll be the last time he sees him, but Dad's pretty tough. My first masterclass tasting, Indianapolis. And which Kubokan are you drinking? My first masterclass at the Whiskey Festival here was with Duncan Taylor and a guy who is from Scotland, but he lives in California. His name is Peter Curry. And what I liked about it is, first of all, he said the truths about a lot of the whiskeys. You know, he says, yeah, they tell you that Bruichladdich is aged by the sea and the brine and the salt in the air and all this stuff. Sure, in a warehouse down by the freaking train tracks with all the diesel. So, anyway, one of the last whiskeys he had to try, which was so light. Every other one he had on there, and I should have taken a picture. Actually, I might even have the pamphlet somewhere. But this was like 5-6 years ago, was this. And it stuck in my head because the Scotch Test Dummies just had this on one of their impromptus last week. But not this, not a Royal Bracula, 12-year-old. It was somebody else. But it was, I did not realize that you could still get their NC2, which stands for non-chill filtered, non-colored. But this was the best tasting one, and it's what changed my mind about the color of whiskey. Right? Most people don't know, but I'm paralyzed from the chest down. Well, that's you're both incredible people, you and George, Jamie. That is. It's very good. What chat is popping tonight? Great. I love. You know what, guys? I agree with what you're saying there, Tom. When you get into some of the chats where there's 80 or 90 people, it's just like, whoa. And you always just kind of focus toward the ones that you know in the chat room. When you're dealing with Roy or the Scotch Test Dummies, I'm glad. I love it. Their popularity is awesome, and more power to any of them. I mean, I don't think anybody on here wants to keep a channel small. That's some dude, Food Quig. He just does it because he likes to do it. He has no worries. I think he's over 900 people now, but he has no desire to be 1,000 or to be monetized. I think he has a Patreon thing, but he only gets a little bit here and there. Thanks, man. I appreciate all of this. I appreciate all of you guys. Yesterday on Malta Montreal, I mean, I got to tell you, I kind of wished that Crazy was in the chats. He's hilarious when he's in the chats, right? And Eric, the sniper. He's funny. Yes, it's like we're at the pub without all the loud pub people. Although that's what they would be calling us, the loud pub people. You guys stop talking about whiskey and stuff. So I got to go away to work, Julia. And I think I want to try to take a rig down there so I can do a live show. I'll have to get permission, but there's a place there called Old World Tavern where I'm going to be staying. And it's good food, real pub food, real good stuff. And it's in the middle of the prairies. It's called Moose Jaw. And they even have a little theater group touristy thing there where you go and they take you into the underground tunnels under the main street of the city where Al Capone were running whiskey. Now, it's a theater group. They're younger kids, local kids. Here's another cool thing they have in that city, and I wish they'd have told me that when I first got out there. I was only there for a while, and I was on night shift for the beginning of it. Okay, come on down. I think there's an airport in there. Visitors, anybody with an out-of-province license plate doesn't have to pay for parking. You park in front of a meter, you won't get a ticket if you don't pay. It's a phenomenal. That's a great idea for that little tiny city. Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Weird name. Al Capone brand whiskey out of it, but guess what? There is no evidence that Al Capone was ever there. So when I'm there this time, I think I'll do the tour with. They have another one for the Chinese. There was supposedly like an underground stuff for the Chinese that were there way back. We're talking like back in the Western days, before Tom R. was born. My knuckles and pointer finger. I'm impressed with what I can do. Well, you know what? There's a testament to that, Amy. I watched a guy, I think I sent Julia a link to you. He's a photographer in Vietnam, Thailand. And he has no arms, no legs. He has a little go-kart that he, uses his thighs, whatever's left of his thighs. And he goes, "Hey, my bourbon journey, Scott, how you doing? Talking about something here. I'll get right back to you." And he has his hands, his arms are like here. He has one arm that's got like an extra piece or part of an arm to it. And on the other one, where you would press the button to take a picture, he's just got a little tiny, like the tip of a finger. And that's what he takes pictures with. And he takes phenomenal pictures. So any of us, like, you ever had I work in an industry where guys can die, let alone get hurt. But I am very impressed when somebody does not give up, right? We have an eternity in our hearts, and none of us want to quit. We want to keep going. I watched one parent pass away, and she didn't want to pass away. I mean, her body certainly was doing whatever it could to survive. And anyway, all I'm saying is I am impressed by not only maybe yourself, Amy, but also by the very fact that George is probably more committed to you than he was ever. And I'm impressed by that, because there's lots of people fully healthy, both of them, and people don't commit to each other, or they already have a scapegoat if it doesn't work out. If it doesn't work out, we'll just get a divorce. That's why I'm 50 and never been married. What am I talking about, eh? Time to have another sip of a dram, and I'll stop talking. Oh, this I put a healthy little spoon in there. This a little spicier maybe, but for 50% ABV, this is not strong. Like, I can go right in there and don't feel like a astringent burn at all. I hope I'm sounding good to you guys. Everybody, the volume's good. My bourbon journey, Scott. I saw your new pictures. I am extremely jealous of your new setup in your basement. It looks awesome, and I'm impressed by your lovely wife. And am I right in guessing that she is a Canadian that you stole? Did you steal a Canadian woman and take her to the U.S. and marry her? Does she not know her way home? Just asking. You can ignore it or answer the questions if you please. Is she staying down there because she likes watered down beer? That's the other controversy we can have. I'm not saying a thing about marriage. Oh, boys. You got me. Yeah. AV and sound is great. Thanks, Duncan Hams. Another Canadian living in the States. What's going on? I think I'm going to sell my house. The only problem is where I'm going to put all these bottles behind me. God, I can get a haircut. I can't stand looking at this. And I'm just going to drive. I'm going to be down in the U.S. for an entire winter. I don't blush. It's the lighting. Santa cruising. What are you guys all laughing about here now? Yeah, that basement does look awesome. What do you mean you don't know nothing about watered down beer? Tell me nothing. Sheldon, I thought you brought beer. Is it watered down beer from the United States? Hell no, he says. Hell no. I might have to come out and get one of those. Julia, you're not here to entertain people. What kind of beer do you have down here in Wisconsin? I don't. What are you talking about? I don't blush. Wisconsin. Was there not a sitcom from Wisconsin? We were not talking about this in another chat. We could do a live wedding. Sure. Julia, she's got lots of suitors. We'll see. Open bar? Whoa, no. Why we're going too far now? No. I'm not starting all this wedding chat. We got to stop talking. The 70s show is from Wisconsin. Yeah, it was Duncan Taylor that said that. That is true. That is hilarious. What are you laughing at? Anyway, you guys, don't start nothing here. We're not doing no open bar. I'm going to probably just elope with somebody that doesn't like whiskey so they don't drink it all on me. Happy days, Peter White. Yeah, let's get back to the whiskey here. I don't know why you guys are bugging me. Laverne and Shirley. I love Laverne and Shirley. One bottle entry fee to join the wedding party. I like that, Tom. 18, is it? I don't even look how many people. First of all, I pop my chat up different. I have what I see live on, and I have the chat up because the chat to me is kind of more important than whatever else, right? Until I learn how to be like Casey Neistat and make some cool videos, you'll probably just get lives. What's this? We we'll all come and bring our best whiskeys. That would be awesome. Yep, we're going to need them. I'm 50 years old, no kids. I got 5 motorcycles and a room full of whiskey. And I live in a beat-up old house. I should have had the mortgage paid off a long time ago. Nah. See, Santa Cruz and Amy and Tom, we got some good ideas going here. I don't know why everybody wants to get us married. Aren't we happy, Julia? We're not happy this way? Why does marriage have to get involved? Kenosha. What is Kenosha? Bourbon Shenanigans already told me where he was from, and I already forgot. Idaho, Indiana. I got to start making notes. You can help me with the mortgage, yeah. Yep. I still have to go out of town to work. 21 viewers now. Ben, you're losing count here, buddy. Why? I know why. You know why? Oh, I know why. Yes, we know why. Marriage is awesome. If you have the right attitude, it is. And you and George seem to have the very best attitudes I've seen in a long time. You do when you're on appointments. Oh, you know what? My bourbon journey, you reminded me of something. I've got to call an insurance company and talk to them about some things. You have a Gail and she's flying to England. Why have we never heard of Gail before Santa Cruzan? Is she a secret or are you the secret? Okay, what else are we drinking? I already had my Mitchers, the rye, which I'm sure Sheldon's finished already. Well, I talked to my insurance broker, and he said everything was okay. So, I don't know. I gave him a list of my whiskey log. Yeah, George, you might have a point. We'll see. We'll see how she does. Julia and Amy can start their own whiskey channel. They can be like Whiskey Untitled. Never meet each other and have split screens. Dr. Ragland, you are right. Quality over quantity every day. I like this stuff. I really do. I wasn't expecting to like it that much. There is something to be said about the materials they use to make something. So, I'm in a different theater here right now. I have a book. I sent a copy of it down to the Scotch Test Dummies, signed for them by the author, by Davin DeCurgamo. Wrote a book called The Whiskey Canadian Portal. I sent him down a bottle of whiskey there. I was a Canadian single malt peated. I don't think it's in their peat challenge. That's okay. All right, buddy. You have a good night. Take care. Give your lovely wife a hug. I snagged that at Chateau Louis, Chris. So have a good night, Scott. Enjoy that Wisconsin beer. Anyway, this is it's good stuff. I'd go get some, Chris, if I were you. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but not very much. It was under $100, I'll tell you that much anyway. I don't know, I got the receipts all messed up around here, man. I usually try to keep them in order for my insurance. This has got cloudy, and I only added a tablespoon or 2 of water. This is definitely not chill filtered. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, try it, guys. I highly recommend it. That's a great price. $73, eh? $73 at Keg and Cork. That's even a better thing. That's awesome. Their prices have come down or stabilized. Maybe everybody else caught up to them. I don't know. And I'm talking about from, 4 years ago or so. And in some ways, they have a better reason to have higher prices. Dr. Raglan, do you do active release technique as a chiropractor? That's a question out of the realm of whiskey, but just curious every time I see a chiropractor if they do that. Most of the chiropractors we have up here in Canada are trained in the US. So, and where are we? Got 18 people viewing. What else can I talk about here, guys? Whiskey. I need a thing in front of me here that says topics. Julia is usually good here, and she keeps my topics going. They were asking me. Somebody asked me about that Canmore or Carnmore independent bottling. Rob Whiskey in the Six had this on his show going on about it. It's a Bell Blair, and it is extremely, look how dark that is. It is distilled in 1993. What do they say it was bottled in now? 93, bottled in 2017. But it's a sherry punchin', first fill. So why I bring that up, I am not what the flip is right, you tell you. You need to find a bottled wig or something. Yeah. Do you have a theater thing at school, Ben? Ask them if they have a costume thing like a hat, like a bald wig. That would be, honest to God, I think people would find that hilarious. Watch a few more of his videos, get his little things going there. I think that would be funny. Travel retail. Yeah, that's very possible. And I'll tell you why it still might be possible. This is a 700 ml bottle. The Eiley Barley is actually 750. So that's possible that it was something from the US, because everything by law has to be 750 in the US, right? Hashtag written under. Maybe they didn't see you put that there. We're just going to leave it alone. Man, that looks good. It does look good. But here's what I'm getting back at. A certain liquor store sometime in June or July, probably the end of June, beginning of July, is going to have a vintage sale on all their whiskeys. They have an Auchentoshan independent bottler that's darker than that. Wow, I think it's darker than that. I didn't pull it out of the case. Yeah, it's an Auchentoshan by Carnmore, that bottler, which is the same guys that do the Old Perth and rare drams, I think is what they're called. Gotta be careful grabbing these things. And Morrison and McKay. So they have an Auchentoshan one of this, and I always was a big fan of Auchentoshan. Written under duress. Yeah. He is funny. And he's smart too. And he travels for work like I do. So I don't know what kind of work you do, but I'm not traveling right now, but I will be very soon. I am traveling. I drive 2 hours every freaking day just to and back from a job. You're a good kid, Ben. I hope. I think this is a totally different community you're in compared to when I first met you, even on the Food Quig. So there's a little bit less shenanigans going on in the chat. These people are in this chat are pretty solid about the whiskey, and then the rest of life just kind of comes in and out, right? It's just part of it, right? Common denominator. People ask me, why do you guys always park at this one coffee shop on where I live on the motorbikes? I'm like, I don't know. It was started before I got there, but it's a common denominator. And even if I ride a sport bike and this guy rides a Harley, we'll bust each other's chops a bit about Harley and sport bike, just like you heard us doing here with the boys down there in the States. I'm in Canada. You're in the U.S. So are you, right, Ben? And but it's all with good humor, right? And yet, listen to Tom's idea there. But he's got to do that, Tom. He's got to marry the right woman, right? So can't just marry the first girl you see and do everything she tells you. Or don't get married at all. That works too. So, okay, I got to get back to Chris. What are my thoughts on Kubokan? What's behind me here? Which side is it on, guys? Get married once in a lifetime, man. You get married, you got to make that commitment. A lot of people think, well, if it doesn't work out, we'll just get a divorce. No, you got to fight, and both people have to be in on that, right? Oh, I had to smell it again. So back to my Kubicons. What do I think of them? You're a bourbon guy. Well, that's all right. You know what? A bourbon guy, I would get some scotches that are virgin oak finished or 100% virgin oak and start there. Don't believe in luck, first of all, Ben. You're a make it kind of happen kind of guy from what I feel. So don't worry about luck. People stand around. I'd rather stand in a lineup of people going to a franchise convention than people standing in a lineup going to a buy a lottery ticket, right? The people that are standing in the convention line, and I'm not saying that you should buy a franchise of any sort per se, but we will, tell me anything you need privately, man. We'll hook up, okay? Ben, we're just cautious because you're a good fellow, but you're only 15 years old and you're kind of in an adult chat. So, same thing Eric said earlier. You should abstain from alcohol. This is only for educational purposes. I don't believe in luck. No, it's false god. Stand in line for a franchise or stand in line with a lottery tickets, and you'll see the difference of attitude of those people. That's all I'm saying. Not that I've never bought a lottery ticket, but that's right. Take action. Now, you got to use your power of reasoning. So that means you think about it. You don't just go and do stuff. You make your own luck. Who wants to know about Tomatin? Who wants to know about Kubokan? All right, time to pull the shirt out here. No need to hang it out. I got to lose some weight. I like Tomatin. Can you see this? I'll just line them up. Can you see all those? Just so you know. And I also like Kubokan. There's the latest one. I don't buy these things if I don't get to try them. And I used to know the rep. You want to know about Tomatin? Oh. This show's going to go on a little too long. I have a regular. If you want to know about Tomatin, buy this bottle. And that's all I'm going to do. I don't have the regular Kubokan. I would go with try this one here. It's done in a bourbon cask, fully matured in a bourbon cask. So the funny part, well, I keep my open ones in a different area, and I keep getting more and more. We got 30 minutes, guys, so we're going to finish up maybe in 15 before they come on. I just got a notice for the Scotch for Dummies, which is silly, and for Eric, the one for 30 minutes, that's good. There's something going on with YouTube. If you don't once in a while go back and click on the there's different areas you can click on the what is that? Pardon me. On the notification button, you can get occasional notifications all the time or whatever. I think they've been making quite a few changes. Yeah, well, this Tomatin French oak, I sent a bottle of this to Whiskey Lassie into, I think she's in the Maritimes somewhere, right? And that got me a big case of samples. Holy, took me over a year to finish all the samples. Matter of fact, I think I might have had one, but no, this French oak, oh, it's good. Non-colored, non-chill filtered French oak. 12 years. So here's the funny story. I think this stuff started back in like 85 or the marketing team. So this is an education on marketing. You see this? You look up on your little handy dandy smartphones or computers, Donnie Darko. Not all of the posters had this smoke image. I get the shine off of that. This is supposedly a dog. His was a rabbit. Okay. And back in 85-ish was a movie called Brotherhood of the Wolves. And the Brotherhood of the Wolves story is this story they tell you about the Kubokan. I like the way I say it better. Sightings of the Kubokan are rare, fleeting, always terrifying. Pursuing relentlessly, a distillery worker stopped to face the beast, compelled beyond all reason to touch its dense black fur. Brotherhood and the Wolves. Yes, she is Peter White. She is in Nouveau Brunswick, and she is a chemical engineer. Anyway, that is the story. And this is a Donnie Darko poster, that cult classic movie, and the story of the Brotherhood and the Wolves. And it's put on a bottle of whiskey. Your old home in Nouveau Brunswick, eh? The only bilingual province in Canada. They put the stop and the arrête on the stop sign. Up there in the carpenters, they say, I need a piece of wood cut at a 3 1/3. And that's it. There is a Whiskey Throttle on Facebook, yes. I have not hooked it all up yet, but there is one Santa Cruz in yet. I'll start a little another Scotch whiskey thing, I think, on there. You like that one, huh? Chris, you're not French, are you? The Nouveau Brunswick, the French people in Nouveau Brunswick, they are, most of them are we call them Acadiens. The Acadiens are basically the Cajun from the Louisiana. They come up to get away from bad stuff in the United States, and they live in Nouveau Brunswick now. They go all the way up to the Gaspé. I have not been to the Yukon. I don't know where the Quigs. I'm back. My screen glitched out for a bit, guys. Seems to be working now. Says I'm live. I have not been there. Oops, laugh out loud. I'm back. Yep. That's the gremlins. That was probably the Scotch Test Dummies giving me a warning. I don't know what happened, man. Flip, flip. Flippity, flip, flip. These are going back. I like that. The Kubokan. They're rare. They're not that rare. I think you still find some of these on the shelves. This one's a newer one. They're great. But this is a key sign about that Kubokan, guys, is that it technically, sure, it's a single malt from one distillery, but let's think about it. Look, I just showed you 4 different ones, and there's more. There's a 1988 release, a 1989 one. They're big fancy boxes. They are food quigs here. Someone just asked about you, and now you're here. Richie Blanca. I don't know how to say your last name, Richie. I just know how to do a dumb French accent. Anyway, it's a blend. I mean, they blend together all their different whiskeys and whatever. We go on. I love blends. How many people out here have a specific blend they like? George, you started with peated. Was it a peated blend, the first one? We are the protectors of the Quig. Must have heard us, buddy. You must have heard us. Yeah, I hope you got your rest. You sounded tired the last time we were in your live show. You did a short one. You're probably staying up too late. Yeah, so Quig, I'm drinking this Food Quig Bray Barley 08, and I highly recommend trying it, buddy. If I get some stuff from you, I can't let Sneerson be sending you all the samples. We were there with Eric. Yep, we were there, and we got a few minutes left here before the STDs come on. You know what? I'm going to be honest about these shelves, guys. And I got my buddy here. Here, let me show you a little quick keyboard thing. See this wooden table? Hand carved by my buddy that brought me the bottle of water. Right? He made me that. It's spruce. Those are wheels for a piano. He built me that. Is phenomenal, right? Anyway, so the confession is, get this back where it belongs. The confession, ladies and gentlemen, is IKEA built those shelves. But they go up nice. They're metal. They're easy. Bourbon shenanigans, are you guys checking out or leaving or checking somebody out? Oh, okay. Red Label. We're trying the Flaming Lips. What the heck? All right. So I glitched out there for a bit. Everything's working good now. You're holy on your 12th dram. Wow. I'm on my second, to tell you the truth. Maybe third. I started another one of Mitcher's Toasted, but I gave that to my buddy. He's out in the living room. So I get up in the morning too early to be drinking like that, buddy. But I'm telling you, I'm glad I opened that up. Thank you, George. This was opened up because of George. So it is good stuff. Is my lovely friend Julia left? Miss you. That's it, man. I talk a lot. I hope I get in on the chats enough. I hope you guys you stuck around, so you must be doing all right. John Post, how you doing, buddy? A few bourbons. I have a few bourbons. Yeah, did you see a few bourbons somewhere? I don't know where they went. You like bourbon? Oh, you mean few, as in few, like start of morning. Whoa. I don't know about me, but I wouldn't be drinking that soon. I will. I'll have a whiskey in my coffee or coffee. I don't like Bailey's. I like something called 40 Creek Cream because they use real farmer's cream. I have not had the few. I have quite a few. This is one that I've been taking care of for a while here. Oh, you don't. Few Distillery. Yeah, this is not bad stuff. Although rumor is that they're owned by Diageo, Orphan Barrel, and that they're basically using this just to get rid of a bunch of old whiskeys or something. But that's a good whiskey. They keep getting rid of ones like that. I'll drink it. Because here's another Orphan Barrel. Oops. Entrapment. I think up here they're like $180 or more. It's 25-year-old Canadian whiskey from Gimli, Canada. This is Crown Royal. And I mean they're selling 20. Crown Royal Canadian whiskey. They don't even lie. Home of the Crown Royal. Diageo owns Crown Royal. So no, I have not had a blood oath. You guys always talking about stuff I don't have. Got all this whiskey, and you guys talk about the ones I don't have. Hurt my feelings, Tom. Well, I think that they're coming on here pretty quick, are they not, ladies and gentlemen? You looked for it this weekend. The few, Malton Montreal was drinking it yesterday. Vegas Art, you have tried the entrapment, and what did you think of it? See, now we got 19 people in here, and I'm trying to keep up. No, you don't. Now I'm like, now Food Quake, now I know what you go through when you're trying to read everybody's stuff here. It's always about the ones you don't have, buddy. Why do you think they make a new cell phone every year, right? One I got, still working, but there's a 10 out, and I got a freaking, what's that? You prefer the Blood Oath over the Entrapment. Well, they're not even the same kind of whiskey, are they? Blood Oath is bourbon, or what is it? Or Blood Oath isn't part of the Orphan Barrel series. I think I get that confused all the time. I need to go buy a better stool. This one digs into my thighs. And I'm not fat in my thighs, just in my belly. I have Anok, yeah. You probably can see it somewhere behind me, can't you? Yeah, I have some. No, I have not cracked the Deanston Oak. And here's the funny thing. Those little buggers. Thankfully you, Chris, told me where it was. And I went and got 2 bottles. And it was hell on earth trying to find that little store that you mentioned to me. I have some SMWS, yeah. Anyway, guess what? I phoned Keg and Cork, or not Keg and Cork, Chateau Louis, and Chateau Louis. No, we don't have any. We never sold any. I was in there freaking last week, and they got a whole freaking case of it in. Yeah, we're getting close there. Thanks for the heads up, Ben. Encroachment. Yeah. That's a very good one. I have a bottle. Overpriced Canadian whiskey. That's all that is. They're almost as bad as Whistle Pig. Yeah, it was downtown, but it's way up. And you got to find the right pedway to get across to, because they have all the pedways. If anybody's ever doesn't know what we're talking about, we have a downtown area where they have pedways that go across from one tower to the other, so you never have to go outside when it's minus 30, right? That's for Santa Cruz. I think Santa Cruz would collect anything. I think he's got a lot more stuff than he is telling us about, Richie, just like you, Mr. 100, 200 bottles somewhere. Yeah, it must be a whiskey thing, Food Quake. Anyway, everybody, one more thing here. Richard, seen SMWS. Yes, I have. It is the SMWS. I'm a big fan of it. This is one of the I love this bottle, and wasn't able to get it. It was sold out right after the tasting. Up here we get to go the beginning of every month. If you're around, you can go. It costs you $35 as a member, but you get to try everything before you buy it, of the 6 or 7 releases. This was sold out, but the bar or the liquor store manager gave Julia and I the heel, and it's excellent. It's a Tula Barden, and it is a cask strength 60.4, 8 years old, but it was just fun. It was great to drink. Right? Yes, the rest can be yours. But the other 2 bottles I found, not yours. I got connections. You can have the rest of this too. It's a grain G83. I think he gave it. Oh, no, this is from the fundraiser where we're at. Yeah. Okay, buddy, you take care, Tom, and we'll see you in the chat. No, I'm not planning on a live birthday show. You'll never see me doing anything around my birthday, Richie. Never. Yeah, well, I think you're actually probably in better shape than I am, Food Quake. Yep. I have a membership. Yeah. Do you have a membership? Where do you live, Richard? Are you in the U.S. or Canada? The guys, I see lots of them. There's one guy, he's on Instagram cruising. Check him out. He's got his own little YouTube channel, not about the same size as I am, I guess. And he does lots with the SMWS bottlings, right? Yeah, see you in a few bourbon shenanigans. I will see you over there as well. Yep. Matter of fact, folks, I'm going to go do a quig before the STDs start. Yeah. Los Angeles. Oh, man, you get lots of stuff down there, don't you? It's hard to get some things from the SMWS in the States because, and we have similar issue up here. Each province has its own rules about bringing it in. So we live in Alberta. We're the easiest. Scott, I'm just keeping them all warmed up for you, buddy. Matter of fact, half of them have left already because they know you're coming up. Thank you, Ben. We got some time? All right, buddy. Well, some guys need to go do a quig before they come and watch the STDs. Dummies, the Scotch Test Dum-Dums. I forget who told me that, but they thought it was funny. Thanks, George. I appreciate it. And you know what? I'm glad you were showing those Bruichladdich and you got me to open up another one. It's great. So I appreciate everybody being here. It's fun. I enjoyed chatting with you at Eric's, and I'm going to enjoy chatting with you with Scott. You heard of it because of me. The Scotch. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Richard. Hopefully they will give you my number and you can send me up some free bottles. They get some stuff down there that I wish we were getting, but we'll see. Matter of fact, the people that have the rights up here in Canada, the rumor is that they're actually opening up their own distillery in Scotland. So I hope to hook up with them. I'm going to do a live interview with them down, and they live 3 hours away from here. So, all right. Well, how much time you got there, Scott, before you hit the live switch? Later, Gators. Yeah, see you later. I have tried the Bruichladdich G&M cast strength. Have I? Yeah, right here from Duncan. No, I have Duncan Taylor's. Sorry, I get that mixed. I don't have the G&Ms. Oh, 13 minutes. I'm not. I gotta go, but I'm not. We'll see you soon there, Duncan. Glad to know that you're Canadian down in the U.S. keeping an eye on the guys in Wichita, even though you're not near them. Yeah, no, I've only tried this one. It's good stuff. Yeah, Chris, I'd go buy that. It's good stuff. Like I said, I don't know if anyone else is going to get apples off of this. I don't really get apples. I get spice. And I want to say cinnamon, but something different about that barley, maybe. And it's 50% ABV. I got to drink this one up, and maybe when the Scotch Test Dummies start, I'll be drinking a fresh dram in a clean glass. Thanks, boys. Thanks, Scott. We're all primed and ready, warmed up. Hopefully, you got Bart. Is Bart coming to your house? Or are you guys doing a shared screen? Phone him now and remind him to not forget anything. Oh, that's good stuff. Okay. Listen, I could say goodbye 100 times. Thank you very much, everybody. You're the greatest. Salancha.